Welcome back to Outcast Cantina, where we keep the real Star Wars alive. And if you're not subscribed yet, well, I won't say I'll dox your grandma, but I will tell her you think The Last Jedi was a cinematic masterpiece. So choose your path wisely. Now, before we get into today's deep dive into the Valley of the Jedi, I just want to say, stay tuned. In just a few hours, something big is dropping on this channel. Something with ignited blades, legendary warriors, and enough raw power to make the Force tremble. But for now, let's talk about another battle, one fought over 1,000 years ago. One that's left behind a secret even the Jedi feared. The Valley of the Jedi.
I'm no Jedi. I'm just a guy with a lightsaber and a few questions.
The Valley of the Jedi was created in 1000 BBY during the final battle of the new Sith Wars, specifically the 7th Battle of Ruusan. The conflict was a brutal culmination of centuries of warfare between the Jedi and the Sith, with the Army of Light, led by Jedi General Hoth, facing off against the Brotherhood of Darkness under the command of the Sith Lord Katan. As the battle reached its climax, Katan, in a desperate and misguided attempt to destroy the Jedi once and for all, unleashed a thought bomb. A devastating dark side weapon that annihilated both Sith and Jedi forces alike, trapping their spirits in eternal torment. This cataclysmic event did not just end the war, it left behind a massive Force nexus, unlike anything seen before. The raw energy of so many Jedi and Sith, their souls still bound in agony, created a place of unimaginable power. The Jedi, recognizing the valley's significance, took it upon themselves to safeguard the site. How sweet of them, ensuring its existence remained a secret. Following the war's conclusion, the Jedi Order established control over the valley, understanding that such concentrated Force energy could be a beacon of destruction if it fell into the wrong hands. They built temples and fortifications, both to study and contain the energy, ensuring that no one could exploit its potential. Over the next millennia, however, they maintained their silent vigil, keeping the valley hidden from both the Galactic Republic and any lingering Sith remnants. Despite their protection, the Jedi never attempted to release the trapped spirits. Some believe that the Force itself had sealed them away as a form of balance, an eternal punishment for the warriors' senseless destruction. Others fear that tampering with the valley's energy could unravel the fabric of the Force itself. There were even theories that only a being of true balance, one who could wield both the light and the dark, without being consumed, could set the spirits free. This legend would later prove true, but not in the way the Jedi had anticipated. In 8 BBY, a man named Morgan Katan, an explorer and former Jedi sympathizer, stumbled upon the valley's location through a vision granted to him by the Force. Unlike the Jedi who had once guarded it, Morgan understood that the valley could only be used as a tool to fight the growing evil of the Galactic Empire. However, he also knew that such power was dangerous in the wrong hands. Fearing Imperial discovery, Morgan recorded the valley's coordinates into a data disk and hid it away. Unfortunately, his caution was not enough. His knowledge of the valley made him a target, and he was eventually captured and executed by Jarek, a dark Jedi seeking to harness the valley's power for himself. Morgan's son, KyleKatarn, would later inherit this knowledge and take up the mantle of protecting the valley. But before that moment, another Jedi had already learned of its existence. One of the last Jedi survivors after Order 66 was KyleKatarn, a former knight who had narrowly escaped the Purge. Wandering the galaxy, Ron eventually made his way to Dagobah, where he sought guidance from Master Yoda, who had gone into exile after the fall of the Republic. It was here that Yoda, in his cryptic wisdom, revealed the truth about the Valley of the Jedi. Yoda knew that the Empire's rise meant that no Jedi could hope to protect the valley forever. Instead, he entrusted Ron with the knowledge, instructing him that one day someone would need to finish what the Jedi had left undone. That person, Yoda hinted, would not be a Jedi, but someone with a connection to both sides of the Force, a shadow of war who walked between light and dark. Ron carried this knowledge forward, and when the time came, he guided KyleKatarn on his journey to reclaim his father's legacy and stop Jarek from unleashing the power trapped within the valley. In 5 ABY, KyleKatarn, having accepted his father's mission and embraced his Jedi heritage, arrived at the Valley of the Jedi, just as Jarek had sought to complete his dark ritual. The battle that followed was unlike anything before, as Kyle was forced to confront not only Jarek's forces, but the pool of the valley's overwhelming power. Here, Kyle proved himself worthy of the legends the Jedi had once whispered. Here, Kyle proved himself worthy of the legends the Jedi had once whispered. He did what they could never. He freed the trapped spirits. But unlike the destruction Khan had envisioned, this was a true release, allowing the souls to return to the Force at last and the energies to dissipate. Jarek was defeated, the valley's power was no longer a threat, and KyleKatarn became one of the most important figures in the new Jedi Order. His journey was a testament to the idea that balance, not dogma, was the true path of the Force. The future of the Star Wars canon is ours to decide. For decades, the Expanded Universe told stories that expanded upon the myths and legends of Star Wars, creating a vast history that many of us grew up with. However, with the rise of the Disney era, many of those beloved tales were cast aside, decanonized, and labeled as mere legends. But here's the truth. Canon is not decided by corporations. It is decided by us, the fans. You need only look at other IPs like Lord of the Rings. What happens when their masters eventually abandon them? Or they pass away? The Valley of the Jedi still exists because we remember it. KyleKatarn still matters because we keep his story alive. The Expanded Universe remains, not just in books and games, but in the passion of the community that refuses to let it fade. Star Wars is bigger than any single company or executive decision. It belongs to those who love it, not just the shills, not just the Reddit crowd, but those who debate it, who carry its legacy forward. So whether you follow the Expanded Universe or you embrace the Disney era, even though you're truly lost, the most important thing is this. We are the guardians of this galaxy, but you need to seek help. The Valley of the Jedi is one of the most fascinating and underutilized elements in all of Star Wars lore, in my opinion at least. It's a concept so rich with potential, yet barely explored outside of Dark Forces 2, and its expansions, of course. That game, by the way, will always be one of my favorite, Dark Forces 2 and Mysteries of the Sith. I still remember the first time I entered the valley, feeling that overwhelming sense of awe, the weight of its history, even through those pixelated graphics. Dark Forces 2 wasn't just a game for me, it was a memory shared with my father. Who else had to have their parents help them once in a while with the secret areas? I had a hard time remembering them sometimes. I sure did, and, well, now I've got them memorized. That's why I'm beyond excited to see Rupertle's remake bring new secrets and also just bring it to life in an all-new way. If they can recapture even a fraction of that magic, it's going to be something special. And from what I've seen in the demo, let me tell you, it was spot on. And I did enjoy that he added a whole new set of Easter eggs, which gives you a whole new type of secrets and things to look for. I won't go too much into it, but I'm really, really excited for this project. Speaking Speaking of projects, as I mentioned in the past, we are working on a Dark Forces 2 live-action series working with Mike Starwalker. Also, you know that SaberComp is going on. Well, make sure, as I said earlier, that you pay attention, because in a few hours, our entry will be dropping. And there's other news coming along the way, but all in due time. What I will say is that they have worked tirelessly to blend the expanded universe with the G-verse. This way, well, everything will make the fans happy. In the end, it's all about you. Well, that's all I have for today. Peace, love, and may the Force be with you, always. Even if you are helplessly lost, Ray fan.